Hello everyone, it is nice to be here. Here we are with another love-driven sharing. I'm with Lily, my trusty fairy assistant. Say hi, Lily. There is so much to share. There is so much that I wanted to discuss, and I hope that I can put it all into this beautiful package within 10 minutes of time. I don't know. I will do my best. So let's get right to it. So I really just kind of wanted to start with change. Change seems to be the thing, right? Everything changes and change happens constantly. There's no stopping. And change to me looks like growth, right? But if we look around, I mean, I don't watch the news, but I don't have to. It's just everything is just so in your face right now, with having technology so accessible. There's just so much changing in the world, and it's a good thing. Change is good. It's important to be aware. I think awareness and change are an excellent marriage, an excellent pair. So keep your awareness heightened. Be conscious about what words you use and how you express and how you react, and stay in that sense of awareness, in that sense of conscious awareness, so that we are able to maintain, I feel, somewhat of a balance out there. I mean, if we look at what's happening right now, the world is changing. The weather is changing. Humanity is changing. Everything, the universe is changing. The planets and how they're behaving, and everything is according to our perspective, according to our point of view, everything is changing. I feel that if we take a step back and look at the bigger picture, creation, the universe, and all of life as we know it, it's all part of a very well-oiled machine, and it's working to perfection. It is working exactly the way it's meant to be working. We're moving towards progress. We are moving towards expansion of the mind, and that's why there is this incredible awakening of the conscious mind. But of course, because we are in a world of duality and balance is everything, in our existence at least, we have to see the opposite as well. Contrast is everything. Yes, we learn through contrast. We learn from contrast. Without contrast, we would not be able to know what we like more of. So contrast, duality, it's our friend. It works in our favor, because it gives us the power of choice. So what do we do with all of this that we have so available and accessible to us? Well, we have to first of all think of self. Every time I find myself facing a moment of decision, after my mind freaks out and doesn't know where to go and what to do and all of that, because my mind goes, but usually when I find that I'm between the rock and a hard place, I always go to the same thought. What is, to me, the path of least resistance? And so I invite you to embrace that idea with you in your life. When you find yourself that, shit, I'm not sure which way to go or what to do or what's the best thing, or if you feel that you're forcing something, that you want something to work out for you but it's not working out, and you're like forcing it, or trying your hardest, or take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what is the path of least resistance for me right now? What's gonna flow the best or the easiest, or what's gonna help me breathe better? Or because those are things that when we find ourselves in a hard place, in a rut, we tend to forget that. We tend to forget that we're holding our breath, and we can't make a good decision when we're holding our breath, number one. And then when we bring in the awareness of breathing, then we slip into the awareness of flowing. And somehow, just like that, just like magic, we find ourselves looking at or exploring the other available options that we have. So I invite you to keep that in mind. Path of least resistance is always gonna guide you towards that sweet space of whatever it is that you want to achieve or you want to gain. There's also another big thing that's happening. Like I said, there's a lot going on energetically, as a matter of fact. So we are currently in a triple planetary retrograde. So according to my notes, we have Pluto that went retrograde in May and will go direct in October. So that's one. We have Saturn that went retrograde in mid-June and will not go direct until November, and that's the second. And Neptune that went retrograde at the end of June and won't go direct until December. So we have those three planets retrograding right now, and we're actually going to be slipping into a fourth retrograde planet towards close to the end of July. By the 22nd of July, we have Venus that will go retrograde as well. And Venus will Venus retros for about 2 months until September. So what happens when the planets are retrograding, what happens for us, it all comes down to the vibrational waves, right? If you take a glass of water and you drop one drop of water into it, what happens? You see the ripples of the waves expanding outwards. Now, what happens if you drop 3 or 4 drops of water, one after the other? The ripples are going to be more consistent, closer to each other. It's going to create more activity in that body of water. So the same thing happens to us. When all of these vibrational waves of the planets as they're moving, and when there's a change in direction of the planets, it creates a overlap of vibrational waves. And it's not a bad thing, it's just intense. And because, like I said, because conscious awareness is that much more heightened or present in our life as we know it, we are feeling this intensity of energies and these overlays and overlaps of vibrational waves. So, think about it. In the last few months, have you been feeling more tense? Have you been noticing that you get cranky more often? Have you noticed the waves of feeling cranky and then it kind of slows down and goes away? And then again, it's like you're moody, you're cranky, you're snappy. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh. And then again, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh. Because those are the waves of tension. It just creates tension for us. That's the best way to describe how that works. So all of these things, even though it feels like tension, these are upgrades. And this is not just the planets and the planets that are retrograding motion, but it's everything. I mean, you think about the sun and all of its activities, all of those solar flares, all of those bursts of energies and those extra UV rays and extra gamma rays and all of the extras. We feel that. Then we also have whatever's coming from the center of the planet outwards, because our Mother Earth is also feeling it. And because everything works based on what we call the one conscious mind, which is the one heartbeat, that eternal, constant pulse that brings us and binds us together as one. And so whenever there's something going on with the pulsing of the sun, the earth core also feels it, and it sends back a pin to the sun. So it's like all these planets and their cores are pinging each other back with this beautiful, amazing, eternal heartbeat. What else has a heartbeat? So we all feel that. We all have these ping backs that we're sending to each other. And with that, we are expanding. We call those upgrades. Our codes are being upgraded by the second and millisecond and microsecond, and it just gets to a point where you're like, oh my God, I need a break. And then we get that break, and then we pick it right back up. So we are growing energetically. We are growing consciously. We are growing emotionally. We are growing mentally. Our mind is capable of understanding and processing codes in a way that wasn't very available 50 years ago. Not by everyone. Humanity has changed. The DNA code that we have on the earth today is different. It's matured. It's expanded. It's upgraded, literally. And so we are able and capable of processing these enormous amounts of information, these really intricate codes of information, which is why we are able to understand our technology in today's world, and we're able to operate that technology. And so what this means, guys, is we are being presented with an opportunity here on our life as we know it, on our planet as we see it, as we are living it, to create something really big, to create something really magical. And so, if anything, that's the invitation today. Make your life magical. Really explore what about your life is not quite what you want it to be. And don't ask yourself, well, how can I change it? Or how can I make it better? Just ask the universal, right? The universal self to bring change. Change that will resonate more with who you are in your core, in your original code. What is it, the life that you truly want? And ask the universe to bring that in. Be open to the idea that you can change your life. Be open to the idea that you can make the shift. You already are doing it. It's a little different when you do it in a conscious way, because then you are creating a new paradigm for yourself versus accepting a default paradigm that you are just getting through. Don't get through in your life. Live it deliberately, not by chance, but by purpose. I thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments or anything at all, I welcome all of your comments and all of your beautiful words. Thank you so much for always being there. And until next time, I love you, sending you hugs, and I hope to see you around soon. Say bye, Lily. Thank you.